Welcome to The Explainer. So glad you're here because today, well, we're digging into a scenario that's basically guaranteed to make you pull your hair out. Picture this, right? You've got this complex, beautifully automated system set up, you kick off your pipeline, and then literally nothing. Your remote worker just vanishes, no crash report, no stack trace, absolutely zero breadcrumbs to follow. It's a genuine mystery. So today, we're decoding the release of Claude Code version 2.1.204. It's a bug fix release with essentially just one single change. But as we're about to see, the impact of this update is absolutely massive for anyone running automated infrastructure.
Okay, let's dive into this. To understand exactly why this single-sentence release note is such a big deal, we really have to look at the maddening symptom developers were facing. Imagine you've got a remote worker tasked with running some Claude Code operations. It starts up and then boom. Well, not even a boom. It just disappears into thin air. You check your logs and nothing. There's no error message screaming that something broke, just a completely silent failure right at the starting line.
And this perfectly illustrates why this specific bug was such a total nightmare to diagnose. When a session just disappears with zero errors, your first instinct is never ever to blame the application itself, right? It looks exactly like an infrastructure failure. So you start checking your cloud provider, your container orchestration, your memory limits. You just assume the network dropped or the server flat out died. It is incredibly frustrating because you're looking for a Claude Code problem in all the wrong places. The session is just gone.
Section 1. The Suspects. Unpacking the jargon.
So, to actually solve this tech mystery, we need to meet our two main suspects. Suspect number 1, the SessionStart hook. Now, if you've used Claude Code, you know hooks are incredibly useful. They let you run your own custom logic at specific points in a session's lifecycle. Well, a SessionStart hook fires right when a new session begins. Think of it like your pre-game setup. It's your chance to do that crucial initialization work, stuff like fetching environment variables or setting up directories before Claude Code really gets going with its main tasks.
And then we have our second suspect, the headless session. A headless session is basically just a session running without a human sitting there typing at an interactive terminal. We're talking automated pipelines, continuous integration systems, remote workers setups. And here is the critical clue. These silent deaths, they were happening exclusively in these headless environments, where teams built infrastructure to handle tasks completely automatically, totally without human intervention.
Section 2. The crime. Anatomy of the bug.
Okay, we've got our suspects. Let's move to and see how this builds step by step, right at the crime scene. Step 1, your headless session starts up and triggers that SessionStart hook to do its prep work. Step 2, and here's the actual bug. The hook events fail to stream. Now, in this context, streaming just means producing output or signals that prove the worker is alive and doing things. But that streaming goes completely quiet. Step 3, because there are zero signals coming out, the surrounding infrastructure assumes the worker is just sitting there twiddling its thumbs. It assumes it's idle, which leads to step 4. The worker gets reaped.
And that right there is the true cause of this silent death. Because the hook wasn't actively producing output to prove it was alive, the surrounding host system, the infrastructure actually managing your containers, acts like a grim reaper. Host systems are designed to be efficient, so when they see a worker that appears to be doing absolutely nothing, they aggressively step in and shut it down to free up compute resources. Your poor remote worker was being killed right in the middle of its SessionStart hook, before it could do anything useful at all.
Section 3. The hero. The 2.1.204 fix.
But hey, don't worry, there is light at the end of this debugging tunnel. This update brings a wonderfully straightforward solution to what was, quite frankly, a massive, time-wasting infrastructure headache. So the crucial point is this. Version 2.1.2104 fixes that initial silence. It completely ensures that hook events stream correctly from the very first millisecond of a headless session. By literally forcing that remote worker to constantly stream and signal, hey, I'm actively working on this initialization, the host system can plainly see that the worker is busy, the Grim Reaper is kept at bay, and your remote workers can actually survive long enough to do the jobs you assigned them.
Section 4. The verdict. Who should care?
So now that we've solved the mystery of the vanishing sessions, what does this actually mean for you? Looking at the two camps here, you kind of need to self-identify. If you run Claude Code interactively, meaning you're sitting at your laptop typing in a terminal, you are totally safe. This bug probably never affected you, because your local machine isn't going to aggressively idle reap your active terminal window. However, if you're part of a team that's built automated workflows, CI pipelines, or literally any setup where Claude Code runs unattended, you are absolutely in the high-risk category. For you, this upgrade is a total must.
I really want to highlight this specific quote from the source docs because it perfectly sums up the value here. Directly improves reliability at session startup. If you've been battling flaky CI/CD pipelines where Claude Code steps sometimes just fail for no obvious reason, this single bug upgrade is going to directly target and fix that reliability. It looks like a tiny update on paper, sure, but it is a massive stability boost for unattended setups.
Now, if you want to dig deeper into the mechanics of hooks, or maybe verify how your specific automated environment might be impacted, you've got a couple of great resources. You can head over to cloudmaster.net to read the full manual, which includes usage guidance and release notes written in plain, accessible English. And of course, if you want to look at the raw code changes yourself, the official changelog for this release is tracked directly in the Claude Code repo over on GitHub.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on today. Is your infrastructure secretly killing your best automated workflows? If you've been seeing strange, silent failures in your remote environments, the culprit might not be your code at all. It might just be an overzealous idle reaper. Check your Claude Code version, get updated to 2.1.204 right away, and keep those headless sessions alive and streaming. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy coding!